Hello, hello. Are we live? I have never done a solo live stream before, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to be trying my best, I guess. I'm still not sure if we're live. It says we're live. Okay, so I normally would never actually probably stream on a Sunday, but I had time today and I'm not somebody who usually writes or gets any writing done on the weekend. So I thought since I had time, why not experiment with doing a solo live stream and getting anything done over getting nothing done? I thought would be a win. So I'm not sure if anybody is going to show up or be watching, but if you are, yeah, you can say hello and let me see if the comments are going to be working on screen this time because last time I messed that one up. What have I been doing this weekend? Like I said, I haven't been writing, reading a little bit. I did binge the rest of Shadow and Bone this morning, so that was pretty good. Oh, I'm not alone. Anya is here. I'm here, happy you decided to go live. I have been writing all day because the kids are with their grandparents. Oh, so Anya's getting something done today at least. That's really cool. I have not been writing. I sat down to write and just got some random notes. Where I'm at with my camp project is I've pretty much given up, but I think my normal process of like discovery writing is not working. So I think I need to think like opposite of what I would normally think because normally I'm such a pantser. I'm like, just write random scenes right out of order, then everything is going to work fine. And I think my process isn't working. So I'm going to actually try to plot more. I mean, I have a beat sheet, but really, really bare bones. So I have all these sort of, you definitely can't see that, but like in these page protectors that I do with dry erase markers of different sort of plotting methods. So maybe for the first sprint, I'll try slotting what I have in there and see if it fits. And if it doesn't fit, I'm not sure. So, but I'm not like super like productivity equals your worth or anything. So actually a lot of times when I'm watching live streams, I never like give my word counts or say what I did just because I don't know, maybe it stresses me out in that way. So you can also just talk, hang out, clean your house, do whatever. Because like I said, I use live streams also as like a social interaction because I don't have like a lot of friends, I guess. So this is like for me the fun thing to do. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Nostalgia Train book club and what I'm doing with that. But I think I just want to hop into a sprint and get a little bit organized and see what I'm going to do today. So let me get up. I wanted to use Marta's Dino timer because it is so cute. So let me see if I can figure this out. Well, that was easy. Okay, so let's just hop right into a 10-minute warm up sprint. Whoa, we did it. That is the cutest timer. Oh. What did I do? Can you see I barely filled out anything. I am seriously blocked for this story. Then I decided to make one of those golden triangles from that plot your novel from the middle. And I remembered I'd made one and I started digging through my notes to find it and I can't find it anywhere. It's funny, it's like I should have some idea what this project that I am writing is about, and all of a sudden I just have nothing, like my brain is empty. So maybe writer's block is real. Yeah, my camera does this weird zooming out and zooming in thing. I don't know what that's about. So Anya said, I've been experimenting with voice to text again, partly because you inspired me to do so, helps me get down my thoughts faster. Yeah, I think it's also good for like brainstorming, like thoughts and also summarizing. And I've also sometimes used it for journaling, which is good. So I'm glad that you're finding some use there. Oh, Matilda's here. Hello. Hello, she says. I'm not quite ready to write yet. Maybe-ish. I've been putting it off all day, but happy to catch the stream. You're looking stunning today. And those little dino timer. Oh yeah, that's Marta's timer. And I'm rocking some black lipstick today. I straight up had like an old grandpa like give me the evil eye when I was walking the dog earlier. And I was like, I must be doing something right. If that's the reaction I'm getting from the general public. I kind of was here for it. And the timer is from Marta. She crocheted those and did that stop motion. I think that is so cool. Yes, the timer is so cute. Yeah, it's, I think, the new favorite timer. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing right now with this project. I'm trying not to like 100% give up on it, but it's really not, the inspiration just isn't flowing. I might switch over, work on my plot bunny a little bit, or read a little bit. That's also something to do. What else? Oh, I wanted to talk a little bit about the book club. So I have this book club that I started, the Nostalgia Train Book Club. I pretty much just wanted to reread all these middle grade and young adult books and thought maybe other people would want to reread them and dissect them and discuss why they were popular and maybe some things that today are problematic and take into sort of the nostalgia factor of why we liked them. I have a Discord for it if anybody is interested in joining and being part of it. Or you can also just watch. They will probably also be on live streams. My camera's doing that weird zoomy thing again. But so for May, the book we decided on is Aragon. So I've never read this. I have a copy though. It's a really thick book, so I hope that 1 month is enough to get through it. I think I'm also going to pick up the audiobook. Yeah, so I've heard some kind of divisive things about this because the author was a teenager when he wrote it, and people have said some things. All I know about it right now is that it's apparently very classic high fantasy, like a middle grade version of like Lord of the Rings almost, and some of those kind of generic high fantasy, I guess is what I've heard of it. So, and I guess everybody hates this movie adaptation. That's really all I know about it. I never read it. So, yeah, that's why I wanted to read it. I feel like I missed out on something. Tentatively, we do have a tentative date for the live discussion for it, which will be Thursday, May 27th. I don't have a time and I don't have a concrete list of co-hosts yet, just because it's a little bit too far in advance for everybody's schedules, but that is what we will be reading for May. And if you want more information, I have my announcement video linked down below, as well as the Discord invite link should also be down below. And I'm also very happy to hear people's recommendations of books that they would also like to read or reread, or things you missed out on. Ideally, it'd be great like if this grows bigger that I could have more books going at once. Like if somebody's not interested in Aragon, we could also have a second book going at the same time. Since I wanted a mix of YA and middle grade, I think it'd be cool if we're having almost one of each at all times. And some of the easier reads and some of the more, I think this is kind of a lot to commit to. So I fully understand that that's kind of a big commitment on that one. So that is what's going on with the Nostalgia Train. So like I said, information link below. Oh, Yaza is here. Oh, and you have your duck picture back because before I saw you changed it. Anya, ooh, I have never read this and haven't watched the movie, so maybe I should read it with you. Yeah, I've heard some, like I said, some divisive things about it, so I'm not sure if I can recommend it since it's one of the ones that I have not read. We will see. But I think that's what I also want the book club to kind of have. People who have read it before and have that sort of nostalgia factor going into it, and other like adult writers coming into it completely unbiased and just, yeah, I want to really dissect these in a very literary way. So almost comically, you know what I mean? Because these are very sort of commercial success. Yeah, YA in middle grade commercial successes, and kind of really do sort of a highbrow literary analysis, a little bit satirical. Hi, love your lipstick. Oh, your lipstick is everything. Ah. Yeah, I'm totally, I was just feeling the darkness today. It's actually super sunny and bright, and I guess I'm rebelling against that because I kind of have my own personal grudge against the sun. Yeah. So I think we should hop into another sprint so I can go look for my golden triangle and see if that's going to help me at all with this project. If not, I'm going to switch to brainstorming or reading or doing something else. Um, like I said, you can tell me in the comments if you're working on something or if you want to tell me what your camp project is or what you're doing. But I also don't want people to feel like, your worth is defined by your productivity. So no need to also share if you don't want to. I think with writing, it's kind of a weird thing. In sprints, like always giving the word counts and stuff, maybe sometimes maybe makes this level of competitiveness that doesn't need to be there. I understand for some people it's motivating, but I think not everybody is motivated in that way. And I know for me, a lot of times I don't give my word count or don't say what I'm working on just because, I don't know, it just isn't always productive for me. So I think we should just go up to a 15-minute timer now. Let me get it going. Ah, there we go. Okay, sprinting for 15 minutes. Good luck. Okay. Ah, I'm out of focus. uh, how did everybody do, or what did you do if you want to share? I actually found the notes I was looking for, and when I was talking before about the golden triangle, like, I actually wrote a little bit on there. But it was from this book that I'm referencing. Oh my gosh, I'm completely out of focus again. Write Your Novel from the Middle. I did do a review on that one. So I found my notes, and that helped me, and I got a few more things written down on this outline list. It actually really unlocked something for me. So actually, I think there is some truth to this sort of plotting from the middle process. So maybe I should be switching my focus to Act 2 and just forget about Act 1 for right now because it's really bogging me down. I write by hand, so word counts are hard for me. Also, hello, hello. Yeah, that's what I mean. Sometimes word counts can be, I think, counterproductive because brainstorming and reading and all these other things are also productive. And yeah, word counts. The thing is, like, when I'm typing on my Alpha Smart, I get like super low word counts. So people will be like, oh, I got 300 words for that sprint. And I'll be like, I got 42. But then when I'm doing the speech to text, sometimes I'll be like, I got 800 words and everybody else got 42. And I don't want to then say I got 800 and then make everybody feel bad. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a me problem. Worked on some prose poetry. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, I love poetry. I want to be doing more poetry, actually. I like to write songs, actually, and sometimes I'm trying to work on converting some of those into poems and vice versa. I like to do that a lot because I'm not a musician, so it's not like I can add instrumentals, or I'm not a vocalist, so I can't like sing songs. So it's not like something I can really share. But if I convert them into poems, I think they're more like shareable. I think that's what I'm at least thinking about. Oh, see, this is like the part where I'm like all alone and I don't know what to talk about. I forgot midstream that I had had a candle here the whole time and didn't light it. And I was so excited. Usually that's what I do for my writing sessions, is light my candles, indulge myself there. I also write by hand a lot. It just helps me get into the flow. Yeah, I brainstorm by hand. Like, you see, everything I'm doing now is brainstorming by hand. Earlier, when I was also trying to do this, add more plot and structure to my story, I was trying the snowflake method, if you've heard of that one. And it's like, write a one sentence summary, write a paragraph. And like, I was writing it all by hand, and I was like, oh, my camera's so bad. And I was like getting so sick of it, though, writing it by hand. The snowflake method is not something for me. I don't know if anybody's tried that one. But yeah. Yeah, I'm really not a natural plotter. I love story structure. I love learning about it. I just have a hard time sort of getting my creativity and my ideas out into that platform, if that makes any sense. It's interesting that you're not a vocalist, but you write songs. Yeah, it's because I write them for like my own sort of creative outlet. And I think with songs, there's more. It's just such a different format, I think, than poetry, because there's more repetition, and it can also be like simpler words. And in poetry, if you did that much repetition in poems and some of those very simple lines, it maybe wouldn't be, I don't know, it was something different. I think they're two different things. But I don't know. Some ideas work better in different formats, I think. Hiya! What did I miss, Marta? You missed that we used your dino timer and everybody loved it, as they always do. I'm talking about how awkward I am doing my first solo stream, and that I have pretty much given up on my project. So I'm just doing the opposite of the advice that I would give myself, which is to like jump ahead and discovery write. And I'm doing the complete opposite right now and trying to be a plotter and fill out an outline. So I think maybe that's the way to go when you're stuck. Just challenge your own process. I write lyrics sometimes, but can't write music, so I always forget the melodies. See, that's the thing. I have the melodies in my head, but I don't know how to, I don't know, put that out. I sometimes record them on my phone so that I can remember if I forget the flow of it. I think it's a weird thing to talk about because I think there's kind of this frivolousness to songwriting, like, oh, you write songs, ooh. Like, so it's kind of a weird thing to talk about. But I say, like, I actually think it's some of my best writing because it lends itself to very creative wordplay that I don't get to really use in my novels or even in poems. So that's why I like it as a creative outlet. If you think of it as the camera is a murderer and is zooming in to kill, it's hilarious to me because it typically zooms in when you look away. Yeah, this webcam, I have no idea what's wrong with it, but I'm too cheap to invest in a new webcam because, first of all, I don't think I'm going to be streaming that much. So it's doing it again. Okay, now I'm picturing the murder thing. Yeah, but I've tried that before. Like I don't move, and it still does it every once in a while. But I always, like I said, I'm so cheap. I feel like I could use the money for better things. I'd rather buy books or something. Just buy more craft books and keep reading them, even though I'm never gonna be an outliner. Everybody, I think some people say like there's no such thing as a pantser, and all pantsers turn into plotters at some point. I don't know, but I've been listening to like a lot of it's doing it again lectures from like Brandon Sanderson and Stephen King and all those ones you can find on YouTube. And yeah, it's interesting to hear other people's processes and how they talk about it. Real writers, real successful writers, they're like, yeah, of course, pantsing is a thing. So I don't know why on AuthorTube some people act like it's not a thing, or in some craft books that I've read, they act like it's not a thing. Where did I leave off here? I can sing, however, it's a challenge for me to actually write songs. Yeah, I don't know. For me, a lot of times, I think sometimes, like again, it's like the wordplay. You think of like a cool, like little turn of phrase, and it just doesn't fit anywhere. So I don't know. That's why I use it. You don't look awkward at all. If anything, you look super pretty, loving the makeup. Yeah, everybody's digging the dark lipstick. This one is terrible though. If I had to go out today with the mask, because it actually has like little glitter flecks in it, and you put the mask on, the whole inside is just like really looks like a murder scene, like awful. Or but with glitter, murder with glitter. That actually could be a thing. I think we should hop into another sprint. I'm just gonna keep upping the increments. So I think the next one is 20 minutes. I'm gonna switch from this plotting thing I've been doing and do some reading instead, I think. Just because I think I've sort of reached my plotting capacity right now. So let me pull up the timer. There we go. I'm gonna use Laura's camp timer. So 20-minute sprint. Good luck. Have fun. Okay, that was the 20-minute sprint. I started a little bit dozing off there. I get to, sometimes when I'm reading ebooks or physical books, I get like so tired it like lulls me to sleep. And when I notice that I'm like reading the same sentence or paragraph like 2 or 3 times to have to be able to retain it and like so if anybody wants to share how they did on that one, go ahead, but also no pressure. I actually wanted to like keep progressing the sprints, getting longer times and do the 25-minute next. But after that one where I was like falling asleep, I was like, oh gosh, I don't think I can make a 25-minute sprint after this. But it was good to switch to reading and it kind of got, a different creative part of the brain going. So that's how I did on that one. I also made banners and I forgot to put them up about the book club. If people who are just joining who didn't know, I have the Nostalgia Train book club, and for May we are going to be reading Aragon. So I have the announcement video, I believe, also linked below if you want all the details on that. I basically just went back and listened to the intro and talking parts of the stream while catching up on the dishes. I love using streams to do the dishes, actually. And then that's what I mean about then like everybody putting in their word counts and I'm like, dishes. It's helpful. I got some more thoughts about my character's backstory down and started reading the last minutes of the sprint. Ooh. Backstory is always a good thing. I am struggling with a few of my characters' backstories, to be honest. The songwriting thing is so cool. Do you share the poem versions anywhere online? No, I haven't yet. I've considered on this channel, I've had several sort of scrapped poetry video ideas, like when I was doing the 12 days of writing, and every time it would get to that day where that was like the video that I wanted to do, I would always back out and do something else instead. Oh, there I go, getting all out of focus again. So I don't know if that's something I want to do in the future or what I want to do with that, but seeing other writers share their work has like starts to push me into sharing some of those other things, like sharing the flash fiction, which is really no big deal or no pressure. And yeah, I would like to share my poems. I wanted to when they were doing the poetry slam live stream the other day. I wanted to watch that one, but I fell asleep. I know what you mean. I actually find streams so distracting for writing. I just like the social aspect. Yeah, I think that's kind of the cool thing about the pandemic, kind of forced this extra level of streams and community that I wonder if it would have went this direction without the pandemic happening. So I've been kind of thinking about things like that a lot lately, just because, well, at least here in Europe, the numbers are kind of bad about the cases and things. It hasn't been great. And I'm just reflecting a lot like how what this time last year the mindset was versus what it is right now. And last year during Camp Nano, I was killing it. I was like doing so good last year. Oh, this year just not happening with the drafting, unfortunately. But I don't know. You can't like, I guess some people force themselves to write, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna follow the creativity wherever it is. But that's like again like the comparison game. Like I see people like killing the game, and I think, oh, I should be like really putting out all these words and doing all that stuff. And it's like it's not healthy to compare yourself in that way. It's like if you push yourself unnaturally, it's just gonna lead to a disaster. That's what I'm finding. Like trying to get something done for camp just because it's camp, it has not really been helping me at all. So why even pretend? Yes, same. I write in the morning hours and listen to streams in the afternoon and meet and catch up with other people. Yeah, I hear you, Anya, because in the morning for us, like in our time zone, there's no streams going on. Like, I don't know a lot of people who stream during that time. It always seems like even the early morning writers in the US, it's like noon for us when they start. That's usually around the time streams start trickling in. So in those sort of morning hours. Even though I'm not that much of a morning writer, but I also don't really, oh, this focus on this camera. I never write in the evening because when my partner's home, I don't want to do the speech to text, and that's where I get my most words in. So either I write on the Alpha Smart in the evenings, or I'm reading or brainstorming, or not like high word sort of things. I'm a slow writer, an intuitive writer. NaNoWrimo doesn't work for me at all. So when you say you're an intuitive writer, I'm very intrigued by that sort of title. Because have you seen that video from Ellen Brock, like types of writers, where she breaks it down, plotter, pantser, intuitive, methodological? That's like why I have in my channel description methodological pantser, because her video and those terms like changed how I think about writing. So if you haven't watched Ellen Brock's video, I think what type of writer are you, or types of writers, I would highly recommend that. It's a cool video. And it really helped me with my process and feeling like, oh, I can love storycraft and still not be an outliner. And that's a thing. And I don't have to feel like that I have to call myself a planter, because I don't like the word planter, just like one of those cringe words. And I mean, we all probably fall somewhere on the spectrum between plotting and pantsing at the end of the day, right? Yeah, I tried to push myself like that during the write-a-thon. Ooh, and it just burnt out as a result. So I just try to write when I feel like it now. Yeah, I hear you. And I also am at the point, like with the project hopping, like following the inspiration, because I feel like it's like I don't want to 100% give up on my main whip and give up every time it gets hard. But at the same time, I can't just always go for the plot bunny and write when that's fun. You have to work through the hard parts too. So I'm trying to find that balance between pushing through the hard parts, but then also letting myself have the creative fun things on the side. I'm not there yet. I'm really envious of people who have like really strict writing routines and have that kind of process down, because I feel like I'm discovering my writing routine. When I watch people's videos like my writing routine or my ideal writing routine, it's like, I just write whenever I can and when I feel like it and when it's working. I haven't watched it, but I will. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it, because it changed how I thought what plotters and pantsers were, because I think there's a lot of conversation in the writing community, especially on YouTube, about the terms plotter and pantser. And like I said, a lot of the craft books I read have their own spins or opinions on it. And I think it should be a helpful thing to help you define yourself, but not, you shouldn't put yourself in the box. Like how I am now. Like before, it's like I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall, doing these discovery writing and jumping ahead in my sort of pantser process, and it's not helping me. So what's to hurt trying to outline? You know, nobody's going to be the pantser police and come take away my pantser card because I tried to slot my story into sort of this whatever 27 chapter structure and see if that helps me at all. So yeah, I'm not an outliner. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason I might be blocked on this story, is because I did a beat sheet for it. But it's not even like I did a real beat sheet. If you've read Save the Cat and are familiar with the beats, I just had it out because I was just looking at it. I did like one sentence for each beat. And some of them I just, this is so embarrassing. I just wrote down what the beat said it was. For like the midpoint, I wrote a false victory, period, or a defeat, question mark. That's not that's I guess that's not really outlining. That's just repeating what it said that beat was supposed to be. I really thought that was how you had to do to be a writer, that you have to be an outliner, because you hear so many people say that, like, you turn into plotters over time, or that only real writers are outliners. But I mean, I'm usually a pantser, but I have an outline for my current whip and I'm enjoying it a lot. Yeah, that's a good point, Marta. I think that people don't talk about enough, that like every project has its own sort of different needs and requirements and process, especially if you're writing in like different genres or categories. Because I also have, like I said, this sort of half outline for this project because I want it to be a series. And I think with a series, you need a little bit more pre-planning versus like a one-off novel. It doesn't really matter if I have to rewrite it 2 or 3 times. I will fill the beat sheet in as I go sometimes. Yeah, that's something I like to do too. Like write a little bit and then see if it slots in. That's kind of what I'm doing now. Write it and then see if it fits in with the beats. or write until you're stuck and then be like, I'm stuck. Why am I stuck right now? What's wrong? What's missing? And sort of turn to Storycraft and see if it can help you out of a rut. And I found that really, really helpful, especially with Romancing the Beat. When I read that one, that like unlocked one of the beats in there, really unlocked something in one of my stories for me. I am also discovering my novels layer after layer. Yeah, that's something I also read a lot in the craft books, or also what I was reading today about the snowflake method, like a layer of plot and then like a layer of characters, and then like weaving them together, and especially like also multi POV weaving the different characters and storylines and A plots and B plots, and like anybody who thinks writing a book is easy is like, I'm sure like all of us have that experience of having family members and friends who don't get it. And I'm like, oh, when is your book done? And when can I read it? And just think that it's just so easy just to just write it out perfectly the first time. Especially because I'm used to binge writing the whole draft in 2 or 3 weeks. And now I have a job and I can't do that anymore. So being able to have a plan helps me now when I'm writing much slower. I think that's a good point too about like fast drafting versus slowing down, because I also have in the past been successful with fast drafting. But when I slow it down, I'm having a problem. But again, I think that goes a little bit into the every story is going to require something a little bit different from you and have its own sort of special, unique cocktail of how it needs to be handled. It's so hard. Ugh. That's so relatable. I mean, I feel like writing is something like you can write a story and it'll never be perfect in a way. Like I hear published authors say that all the time. Like it's published, it's out there, it's finished, but there's things that you could always still change or improve on it. And I don't know. I don't know. It's fun though. It is what we all apparently have the same passion. Yes, it's hard, but I also love it so much. Yeah, that's the thing. It's I can't imagine not writing and not at least trying to pursue getting these stories out and pushing yourself. Um, that's, I think, what makes it fun. The idea of a novel versus other sort of forms of writing, like the songwriting and poetry and short stories, is like a novel is a challenge. You know, you can't just easily write a novel. You need to put work into it. So there's something there with the novel format. That's why I think we as writers are kind of drawn to this long form, big beast of a project. My problem with outlines is once I make the outline, I feel like I'm done with the story. Yeah, that's what I was like questioning if that's why I'm hating my story right now is because I have the beat sheet. But I'd never before really felt that. But I think that's because my outline, like I said, is so bare bones. I think there's something so fun about like discovery writing and finding like the details as you go along and seeing how things interact. Like that's why I can't outline, because I can't break it up like, oh, the character sheet and the plot beats. Like I can't compartmentalize that in my head into separate things. I need like all the players on the page at the same time to see how everything is going to work together. That's I don't know. For me, that's what's fun, the drafting and discovering while you write. That's why I think I consider myself more of a pantser. So I think we should do one more sprint. 10 or 15. I'm kind of thinking 10 because I want to do the dino timer again. I'm sure nobody's going to complain about if I put the dino timer up. And then I'm kind of actually getting like hungry because it's whatever, 6:15. I didn't really pre-plan that when I decided to do the stream now. I just thought this would be a good time to try it. Yes, the dino timer, everybody's new favorite. Okay, let me pull it up. Oops, gotta restart it. There she is. Okay, 10 minutes. Let's do it. Oh, go dinos, go! Woohoo! The dinos are proud of you. I got a little bit distracted there at the end by my dog. I'm always suspicious when he's up walking around. Like, what are you up to? And I did that thing where I kept reading the paragraphs in the book over and over again. Since earlier I was writing with the dry erase marker, I once accidentally grabbed it because I was going to highlight something. Like, luckily, I caught myself in time. So if you want to share how you did. Marta excitedly jumping around. Woohoo, all the dino love. Yep, that's the timer of the moment, the it girl timer of AuthorTube. I packaged up my crochet mice this morning, and there's this little voice in my head telling me that this is the last chance I have to rescue them before the postman steals them tomorrow. You've grown attached to your little baby creations. The box is so dark and scary. Do you think they can breathe okay? Now look, my head starts like spinning of like, like a Toy Story-esque story. But clearly that's something we as writers do, constantly put stories to every little real life scenario. My sprint is off. Had to keep going on this audiobook, The Good Wife. It's so good. I don't think I know The Good Wife. Sounds like a thriller. Just because I think wife is like a buzzword in thriller novels. That's why I just let me know. I ordered some books. Aragon is one of them. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna say I'm a little bit intimidated by having to read this, but I'm excited. It's middle grade, so I think it shouldn't be too hard. But one of the things I heard was that it has that sort of flowery prose that trying too hard, because like I said, the author was apparently a teenager when he wrote it, which I think is kind of cool. I wrote a poem about a mouse. Well, kind of. Oh, mice are so cute. Yeah, mice are cute, actually. When I lived in New York City, I had a mouse in my apartment, and I was trying to catch him in a live trap, and it was like a series of failures. I never caught him. I don't know what happened to him. But every time I would catch him in the live trap, I lived like on the top floor, so I would have to take the live trap, thinking that there's a mouse in it, go down to the street and like unleash it, and then there's nothing in there. So me in the middle of the night, like running down to see if there was a mouse. That was something that happened quite often. I never found out what happened to him. So we're at about 1.5 hours, so probably gonna start outroing pretty soon. It is a thriller and it's good. It's short, so I plan to finish it today. Yeah, thrillers are usually quick reads, especially as audiobooks. I like to also get through them, especially when they have that like high pace. I am going to look it up because I do enjoy a good thriller from time to time. I never used to, but I've really gotten into the thriller genre this past year. I was thinking of doing a Three Blind Mice theme timer. Oh, okay, that sounds really good. But if I did, it would be no longer have the willpower to send them off anymore. Yeah, but you can always make more. Like Marta, you're like the crochet creator. You can, and I don't know how like it is with crocheting, but I would assume like you can always, I don't know, up your game, keep doing more, getting better over time, just like our writing. I'm not throwing shade, but I heard the only reason it got published was because his parents owned the printing publishing company, and the book wasn't very good. Yeah, like I've heard some things about it. Part of me wants to like deep dive research before I read it, but then part of me wants to go in kind of blind. So, but like I said, I've kind of heard already some buzzings and rumors around it because I don't know. It is a big book. That's the whole point of me wanting to do this book club. Like I said, was like the big commercial successes and analyze why they were big and what we can learn from them, and if they held up over time, and how nostalgia impacts our opinions on them. Because if you know me, like I ride hard for Twilight. Like I don't really believe in guilty pleasures, and I will like fully admit I like Twilight, but I mean I think I also have to confront the fact that there are problematic things in that book. So when I get to the point of rereading that, I want to be honest with myself, and I'm hoping that other co-hosts and people who are in the book club reading the books with me can have that same opinion and same viewpoint going into their childhood favorites. But I think it would be fun if there is also some Discord of people sticking up for maybe some things in books or having disagreement and discussing the literary elements. I'm excited about it. I hope other people are are going to be into the idea of the book club, and as much as I am. I'm like very self-conscious about it. Like if you watch my vlog of when I posted the announcement, I was like so nervous just because I'm not a very organized person or like a natural leader. I can't even like keep up my own social media, so I don't know what I was thinking trying to run a Discord server. I made an Instagram for it and haven't posted anything on it yet. So but like I said, if people are actually interested in it and want to help behind the scenes and be like admins and all that stuff or no Discord, I think it's going to take a few books for maybe people to get into it and see if it's even going to work or people even want to do it. So, because I don't know, I think it's fun as writers to dissect it, because I know there's a lot of book clubs out there and a lot of stuff going on and other people probably having a similar idea. But I think we have a unique perspective as writers to critique written work and see what we can learn from it. I will probably be on the nostalgic bias side of Aragon. Oh, okay. See, this is what I wanted. I wanted people having opinions. But I think that's cool. Then like people who like me who don't know anything about it going in or know very little, just those couple big pop culture buzz things about it. Yeah, I didn't read it as a kid because my brother read it and we had maybe like a sibling rivalry. And he had spoiled me on 2 Harry Potter books because he was a faster reader than me. So he would always finish them first and then like subtly drop in spoilers to me and ruin it for me. So when he was reading the Aragon books, I was like, no, I'm not going to read what you're reading because I don't want to be spoiled. You have your own thing. I don't want to be part of it. So I had the opportunity to read it as a kid. I just chose not to. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow over here on my channel with Stieg at 8 a.m. Central European Time. That's 2 a.m. Eastern Eastern Standard Time for the night owls of the world. This was fun. I don't know if I'll do a solo stream ever again. And if I do, it'll probably be again like this, a random pop-up one. But I had fun, and I think it's always good to face your fears and be out there. It kind of for me feels like, since I watch a lot of streams, that it's like me just like paying my dues. Oh, you got to host one every once in a while because I consume so many. So I don't think it works like that. I think I should leave it to the professionals. Bye. Thanks for the stream. Thank you. There will be a stream tomorrow on my channel. So I'm going to call it. Thank you. I hope everybody had a good night, got something done. And even if you didn't get something done, your self-worth is not based on your productivity. And have a good night.